What's going on, guys? No Guides here. Welcome back to another episode of FIFA School. And we're going to go over some attacking series. We're going to focus on four things. We've already focused on one, which is L1 triggers or LB triggers. We're going to go over the fake shots in this one. Then we're going to go over the ball roll. And then we're going to go over drag backs. Now, the most important thing you need to realize is that these four things is what changes your attack. If you watch when I stream, I only use the ball roll, the drag back occasionally, and the fake shot. And then I use the L1 or LB button to trigger players to go forward. That is solely the base of the attack. That's the most important you to realize. A lot of people don't teach you this, but that's the best things you can do. The reason why is they're the most easiest things and they're the most effective things. Now, starting with the fake shot, it's actually very easy to do. All you're doing is you're pressing. You can either do, so basically there's two variations. There's either the shot and then the pass, or then there's a cross and a pass. Whichever you do is completely fine. The most important thing is you want to take a shot, then immediately cancel the shot by pressing the pass button. So you kind of get this type of animation. So let's say you're standing still, and just to give you a bit of a depiction of how I do this, people always ask me this, how do I do the fake shots? So imagine your thumb, my tip of my thumb is going on the shoot button, and then the base of my thumb is getting slammed down. So you can imagine just as you place your thumb normally on the square or the circle, or for example on the X or the B, what you're doing is you got the thumb there, and then after I tap the button, I slam my thumb down on my base of my thumb to create the fake shot. That's how I do it. There is different variations. Some people use like they do it very quickly, and then they move like their thumb and then the X along. I would say that's the best way. So take a normal shot with your thumb and then slam your base of your thumb down onto the X or A button. So very, very simple. So remember, tip of your thumb goes on the shoot button, and then the base of your thumb goes on the pass button. And that's how you create this animation. There's different types of fake shots. So the first one is when you're standing still and you do a fake shot. You kind of do a fake shot and then that's it. You do have the jogging fake shot where you do a fake shot when you're moving, if that makes sense. You carry on moving the ball. You do have the running fake shot, which is basically you're running into a direction and doing a fake shot. Now with the fake shot, the reason why it's so effective is kind of like a 360 exit point. So once you do a fake shot, you can exit in any way in a 360 degree angle. That's why these skill moves are very effective. Unlike, for example, the stop and turn, or like maybe Elastico, skill moves like that, it's very, very hard to, I suppose you can say, go to a specific direction. You're kind of limited on where you want to go. Whereas I think with a fake shot, you can go in any field. Elastico can only basically go somewhere in front of you or into a different angle. Like a stop and turn, for example, you can only go either kind of 90 degrees to wherever your player is. So that's why I would say the fake shot is very effective. Now, the most important thing is you exit with the left analog stick. So if you stand still and you do a fake shot, you can do a fake shot and you can exit any direction. So what happens is if you stand still, if you do a fake shot and you move direction, your player will do a fake shot standing still, and then he will move. This is not that effective. Maybe down the line it could be effective where, for example, you stand still, you do a fake shot, then you move away. It's not really that useful, but the most important thing is you can control the exit. So whatever you do here, you can control the exit yourself. Now the second one, which is the most important one to learn, is the jogging fake shot. So again, you can exit anyway. So let's say your opponent's in front of you, you can exit behind you. Let's say you want to go upwards, you can exit upwards. If you're jogging and go downwards, you can go downwards. If you want to go out 45 degrees to the bottom left, you can go to the bottom left. You see how you have 360 control over the exit, and that's what makes the fake shot so OP. There's not many skill moves that allow you to go any angles. So once you perform the action, you can go away from the goalkeeper, you can go towards the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper's coming towards you, want to go and you go to the left, you can do that. It's such a easy skill move. And also the animation is so quick so your opponent can't defend against it. So that's the jogging one. So the jogging one is very, very effective. You can go at any exit what you want. This is the one I use the most notably in the box for first touches, but we'll get onto that soon. The second type is the running fake shot. Now the running fake shot, you kind of get this animation where you kind of get kind of like a speed boost, you can say. Not really a speed boost, but it's kind of like really good if you're running alongside and you want to kind of make an acute turn. You might see this in the pro scene where players have got the ball down the wing and then they're running inside the box, and even though the player's next to you, they do this kind of fake shot, to create the gap, especially at the 45 degree one like that. As you can see, it's very, very hard to get the ball off me, even as a goalkeeper. I don't use this that much, but I would say just leave that for now. Let's just keep things basic and stick to the fake shot, the left stick. See, the key thing with this series is I don't want to go too elaborate and show you too many things. I want to show you the key basics. Once you learn those, you exponentially increase. That I can almost guarantee you. There is a stop and turn. So the stop and turn is when you're basically running and then you do a fake shot and you don't use a left analog stick. So the key thing here is with the fake shots, normally you're kind of setting an exit. So if you're going down, you want to go to the bottom. You're gonna set in the angle. So the fake shot stop is when you're basically running down or you're walking and you're jogging and you do the fake shot button. Now what happens is that your player, it just stops. You see, it stops dead in its tracks. So when you're jogging, you kind of have this kind of animation like this. You see that? That's the most important thing. So if you hold the left analog stick and you do a fake shot stop, you'll still keep running forward. But if you do it, let's say you do a fake shot and you stand still, that's it. And what happens is when you do a fake shot stop, the most important thing is when you do the fake shot stop, the player will always face the goal. So let's say, for example, I do a fake shot stop this way. As soon as it activates the animation, it's always going to face the goal. So if I do a fake shot stop like that, you see how my player turns around? So wherever you are on the pitch, if you do a fake shot stop where you just do the fake shot, press no buttons, your player will naturally face the goal. Now this is important for you to learn, because let's say you're running down the wing and you're doing a fake shot stop, your player would then face inside. You see that? And that's what can make you turn from the wing position. Now imagine, for example, in this case, imagine you triggered a player down the wing and he did a run and he did a fake shot stop. He will stop at this point. You see what I'm saying? And he will face the goal. So that means that after you do the fake shot stop, you could run down the wing, do the fake shot stop, and then pass the ball into the box. So just to give you a bit of an example, let's say I'm running down the wing, I do a fake shot stop. As you can see, it faces the goal, and then I could pass and easily distribute it to my striker. Now obviously with the fake shot stop, there's two ways. There's the running fake shot stop, which is probably the most, I suppose you can say the most accurate one, because you kind of did a fake shot stop immediately, as you can see. And then you have the jogging fake shot stop. The problem with the jogging fake shot stop, sometimes it doesn't really work too much. Sometimes, as you can see, the animation still runs. You kind of have to like let go of the left analog stick early. So as soon as if you do the jogging fake shot stop, make sure you just let go of everything completely and do it. Make sure you don't kind of hold the analog stick anymore as you keep going forward, as you can see. So the running fake shot is very important. So just to recap, you have the normal fake shot where you kind of stand still, change direction, is not that useful. You have the jogging fake shot, which is probably the most useful one. You do have the running fake shot, which kind of creates a bigger kind of gap and better for angle type runs. And then you have the fake shot stop where you can running or jogging and you just do a fake shot and then you face goal. Remember, the most important thing is wherever you are on a pitch, as soon as you do it, your player will face the goal. So let's say, for example, not saying you should do this, but let's say, for example, you do a fake shot stop here and you want to take a shot, you could do that because your player will face the goal. But just as an example, that's just to show you what it's basically like. Now I want to go over some more elaborate and some more instinctive examples. Now there is some more elaborate examples of fake shots you can do, like for example the first touch fake shot, but we're not going to get into that in this video because this is just a bit too elaborate, and it's better to just get the basics out of the way first. It's better for you to learn the basics before you start doing this, because this is actually very complicated. It's much more complicated than you actually think. But let's just focus on the normal. I want you to solely learn just the running, jogging fake shot for now. I think it's probably the most simplest one. But the most important thing is when you're up against your opponent, you need to remember, especially if this player is controlled by AI, you as the player have an option if you want to go up or if you want to go down. So let's say, for example, your player tries to defend against you. You can either go up and down and go past him. And let's say, for example, even if he guesses the way that you want to go, let's say you actually want to go down and you're actually aiming down, he has to guess correctly. So you see, that's the whole point. It's almost like a 50-50 chance, because what happens is you're choosing a direction and he has to guess where you're going. But the most important thing is you don't want to be predictable. Let's say you get into this wing position, right? Sometimes you want to do a fake shot inwards and go around the outside. But when you get to the same spot again, do a fake shot to the outside. You see what I'm saying? You just want to mix it up. You don't want to keep doing the same thing again. So maybe the third time, instead, maybe you do a fake shot stop. Or maybe you don't even do a fake shot at all. Maybe you just do a normal dribble and go back. You see, the whole idea is being unpredictable. And that's the reason why the fake shot is so good, because you can exit anywhere. You can go back, you can go forward, you can turn around, you can do a fake shot and turn around. There's so many options you can do with a fake shot, and that's why the fake shot is so effective. Now I'm just going to go through some in-game examples now of me using the fake shot, just to give you a bit more insight of kind of what's going through my head. We're going to mainly focus on beating a player with a normal running jogging fake shot like this. So like this, normal jogging fake shot like that. Very easy, get past your opponent again, like that. It's very simple, nothing too elaborate. We're going to go through some examples like this, and I'm going to show you some situations where I use the fake shot and how I use it to normally beat the simple man inside the box. Okay, so as usual, we're going to go through some examples in typical fashion. Again, we're going to focus on mainly the jogging fake shot. I would say probably the most important aspect of fake shot to learn, but probably the most easiest. So we're going to go through some examples. So here we have an example. We're going down the wing, relative situation where you might normally get into, probably get into quite a lot. And what I do here, for example, I'm just waiting, and I'm waiting for Nedved to make that run inwards. There isn't really any other options. Of course, I could have done across and down the pitch over there, a simple R1 X or an R1 square type cross. Can sometimes get there, but the problem is it was quite risky, so I decided to make the pass to Nedved down the middle, directly in between the lines. I just waited for this space, waited for, I suppose you can say, this defender to kind of overcommit, and then the space was available and it was a clear space, and I made the pass. Now you see here, once I take this touch, the first thing I look at is I look at my players. There isn't really any options I could pass. So I could probably pass up over there, but it was quite risky. But I'm looking at my opponent's players. As you can see, he has 4 players inside the box. No one nearby me yet, but I'm not in a feasible situation to take a shot. If I did go forward over here, I could see how Nesta reacted. But my main aim is I either want to go near post, as I mentioned in my shooting tutorials, or I want to go far post. I'm just going to slow this down a bit so I can kind of walk you through what exactly I'm thinking. So for example, I get the ball here. So what it is again, starting again, is I get the ball with Nedved. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. In that instant, as soon as I get the ball, I'm thinking, can I shoot near post? Can I shoot near post? I get the ball, and immediately I see that Nesta is kind of, running towards me. So my hopes of kind of going that way and kind of shooting near post are almost tainted. Because why? He has Nesta kind of closing the gap and attempting to close the area, but also he's got many defenders nearby as well. So even though I want to go in this direction, the fact that Nesta and his other players are there are making it less likely. So what my thought process is, if I get the ball, move forward a little bit, and then do a fake shot upwards, and then I can maybe go far post. That's what my logic is, because there's too many players near post, and more importantly, because this player is being controlled by my opponent. I know that he's basically going to cut me down that narrow angle, because that's the most obvious thing to do. As you can see, I'm looking down here, and I know he's going to commit towards me, so I want to do a fake shot upwards. And as you can see, I do a fake shot upwards, as you can see, and that's what gives me that extra touch to go upwards. So you see, even though he initially wanted to make the tackle, so as soon as he got here, he realized, okay, the ball is going through. He's still controlling Nesta, so his logic is, okay, you know what? I need to close this guy down as soon as possible. But in his attempt to do that, that's when I decided to execute the fake shot here and go upwards, because he's going to close me down. As you can see, he's predicted me to either go forward, and as you can see, because I move up and away from him, he, in a sense, mistimes his tackle. I take an extra touch, and that opens the shot for me to score with Nedved, who's got a 5-star week for a very, very simple scenario. But again, all it was is stemmed from a very simple pass down the wing. To be completely accurate, it was the L1, LB pass that I made, as I mentioned. Pass down the wing, normal pass inside, and a fake shot upwards. You see that? Very, very simple. Nothing too elaborate whatsoever. Very simple football. Now we've got a different example. We've got a situation where it's a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Now, just like players, goalkeepers, another easy way to beat them as well is with fake shots. Now, for example, as you can see here, I do a simple fake shot and away from the goalkeeper. Just to make this clear, you're probably thinking, what's this animation? Now, the reason I wanted to show you this video is some players with a 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Remember, this is 4-star skill moves. 4-star skill moves and above, so 5-star skill moves, 4-star skill moves, they sometimes do this kind of scoop fake shot. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm doing a normal fake shot, but he ends up doing this kind of scoop fake shot. This is only for players who have 4-star skill moves. Sometimes they do it, so just do bear that in mind. So if you do use a player like Neymar, use someone like Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, or R9 for example, or someone like Nedved, he'll end up doing this shot. Whereas, for example, if you use someone like Jamie Vardy, because he hasn't got a 4-star skill move, he wouldn't do this animation. Sometimes the animations do differ. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it does a normal fake shot. You can argue this is mainly when a player is kind of in a position. AI kind of decides to do it automatically in some respect. But as you can see here, it's the same situation. I get the ball. And here I'm thinking, you know what? I don't have enough time to take a touch inwards and then take a shot, because that's what I want to do really. Because I can see there's a defender behind me. So if I take a touch inwards, this person can close me down, and this goalkeeper is coming at me fast. If I took a shot from here, remember how I said going back to the previous tutorial about shooting? If you watch my previous video, I explained that you shouldn't really take a shot when you're head on, because your player will make kind of this wrong animation. It's better to take a touch either up or down So to kind of create the angle. But what I do decide here is, instead of taking a touchdown, I'd end up taking a fake shot. As you can see, take a fake shot, the same thing happens, and I still take an extra shot downwards just to guarantee the goal, to guarantee the angle. But again, this is a way where you can use a simple fake shot to get past your opponent. As you can see, I didn't want to do a fake shot upwards for obvious reasons because my player is there. So I want to do a fake shot into the area that's completely free, which is this side. So as you can see here, look on the controller, very simple fake shot, nothing too elaborate jogging. Do a fake shot facing downwards, exit downwards, and then shoot towards goal. A very, very simple technique. So here we have another example. I thought this would be quite an image, since you probably saw this exact clip just in the previous tutorial with regards to shooting near post. So I thought it would only make sense for me to include this clip as it is anyway, and I think this would be kind of a follow-on from the prerequisite of shooting. So remember I said shooting near post is OP. Here we have a situation where I kind of stopped at this bit because I didn't want you to show you the earlier kind of positioning. I think it's more important to show you this bit. If you look at this defender here, in a sense, Kyle Walker now, I want to beat Kyle Walker, and as you can see, the player is actually controlling Kyle Walker. You can see the icon above his head. Now, obviously, the most obvious thing what players do is they like to go kind of like there and into the gap. Now, in honesty, at this point, I had a choice. I could do a fake shot upwards, or I could do a fake shot down. The only risk of doing a fake shot downwards is that if I go down, there's a big chance my opponents can close me down. With Kyle Walker, you could guess the right way, you could close me down, and even then Nesta could close me down as well. So it's very risky to go that way. So the most obvious thing to do here is to do a fake shot upwards. Now I can see Kyle Walker is running at me. Just to give you a bit of an example, when a player is running at you, if you do a fake shot around him, it's very easy to beat him. The reason why is, it's kind of like in real life. If someone's running towards you, in order for this player to change direction, you have to kind of run towards me, then stop, and then change direction after. So that's why if someone's running towards you, if you do a fake shot away from them, it's the easiest way. So we're going to slow down this clip a bit slower just so you can see what's happening in practice. And as you can see, by the time I do a fake shot, he is left for dead. But even if he did turn, he would have been too far away. See that? So he tried to make a tackle. So as soon as I saw him running towards me, I did a fake shot upwards. You see that? Upwards into the space, as you can see here. Now remember how I said, for example, working on angles, remember how I said this angle is not really the best angle to shoot. So I kept running a bit more forward because I had a lot of space in front of me, waited for my goalkeeper to go back, and then I decided to take a shot, as you can see there, with Nedved, a 5-star weak foot. So it's kind of like a prerequisite from last tutorial, kind of following on, you can say. Simple fake shot to get past the player, went upwards, wait for his goalkeeper, wait for the goalkeeper to go back on the line. So he was still moving backwards, which basically when your goalkeeper's moving backwards and forwards, if he's anywhere when he's moving, it takes a long time for him to kind of stop and then save. The way the game works is the goalkeeper, let's say the goalkeeper is moving up and down. If he wants to make a save, he has to stop moving and then make a save. So he doesn't move and then make a save. He has to basically stop moving, stand still, and then make a save. This is what's happening in this situation. The goalkeeper is still moving. As you can see, he has to stop moving. As you can see here, I see him moving out of his line. I take a shot now. He stops moving, and then he still sidesteps, and then he makes the animation. And therefore, even though the ball was close to his hands, it's all because of the movement. You see, he's still moving here, he's still moving here. It's only now he stops here. Then he takes a stop. Then he stands still, and then he makes the animation. And by the time he actually the animation loads, that's the reason why the ball goes particularly past me very easy. But going back to the fake shot, as you can see here, fake shot into the gap. See, if I did a fake shot downwards, there's a high chance of it intercepting the ball. Obviously as well, this player is coming from this angle, therefore it made more sense to do the fake shot upwards, kind of away from him. If, for example, he was running towards me, and let's say these players were never here, if he was running towards me, I could probably do the same thing. Fake shot either upwards or downwards. And for example, let's say Kyle Walker wasn't here, let's say he was here and he was running towards me, I would still do a fake shot upwards, or I could do a fake shot down. You see what I'm saying? But this angle, if I did a fake shot down, because he's running into the direction of where the ball is going to be, which is very smart defending here, he would have probably intercepted the ball, and that's the reason why I went up, and that's the reason how I got past him. Very, very simple. So we have another example, another kind of 1v1 with a player per se. So we've got a situation where we've got no one to pass to, we go back. We're kind of in a tight spot here, and I can't really see any options. I just decided to do a 1-2 with Kante. So I want to do a 1-2, and the reason why I want to do a 1-2 is obviously I want Neymar to make a run going forward, pass the ball to Kante, and then Kante will kind of thread the ball back into Neymar. So here you can see, do a pass with Kante, see Neymar's through, give the ball back to him. Now here, I'm in a situation. I see a player, he's running towards me. Now I have two options here. I could either go up or down. And in this situation, I said it's 50-50 and the player is controlling him, so he has to either guess. If he goes up, then I go down, I beat him. If he goes down, I go up, I beat him. If he just stands his ground and I go either up or down, I still beaten him either way. So the main thing is I have to make a decision here. The decision I made was I took a fake shot upwards. The reason why is the most obvious place to take a fake shot is in this direction. This is the most obvious place. As you can see, he's kind of running down towards me to close me down. Remember, the ball has not arrived to my feet yet. By the time the ball actually arrives, it will stop about here. So he wants to basically get into the situation where the ball is going to be. So that's why in turn I decided to go upwards. The reason why I decided to go upwards because I saw Ben Yedder was marking up carrying other defender. There was enough space for me to go upwards. So as you can see here, I was going to slow it down a bit more. Play it through here. Focus on Neymar. Get Neymar. As you can see, he's running. Say the ball's not at my feet yet. Now at this point, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? He's still running downwards. As I said, don't forget, the player has to then stop running, then stop, and then jockey into the correct direction. Because he's running down, my first reaction is, okay, you know what? Let me run upwards, as you can see. So then I run up, and as you can see, very simply get past him. Now this is when I was talking about, this is another example from the last clip where I said finesse shots are not very effective. This is the reason why I don't use a finesse shot. As you can see, I go up, beat the man, take an extra touch upwards, do a 2.5 bar power, as you can see, less than just over 2 bars of power, and even from that close it somehow goes over, and that's a perfect example of why I don't use finesse shots. But anyway, the most important thing here is the fake shot. As you can see, I could have gone downwards, to be honest. Either way would have worked, but I decided to go upwards into the space where he was running. So basically, I'm doing a fake shot into the direction he's not going. You see that? Fake shot upwards, and then that's when I'm scoring, or should have scored an easy shot into the back of the net. So we have another example. This is just another example of a fake shot, but this one I don't change direction. So this is another variation you can do. So here I do a simple lose the ball. I gain the ball back with Lucas, obviously the running jockey, which I taught you in first couple episodes. Get the ball to Ben Yedder, and the first thing I'm thinking, you know what? Let me just play Neymar through here. Now when I get the ball with Neymar, the first thing I'm thinking of is, okay, I could pass either upwards to Ben Yedder. That's the only option I have, is I can pass upwards to Ben Yedder, or I can do a fake shot. Now you see, I can see that he's actually controlling this defender. So my bid is, you know what? Let me try doing a fake shot this way or this way. Now, because it looks like the way when I receive the ball, because the way I receive the ball, it looks like I'm going down into this direction. So that's why I'm hoping my opponent's going to kind of follow that direction, and that way I can do a fake shot upwards. So as you can see, I'm just going to slow this down a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. I just do a simple fake shot up. You see that? I take a touch and I do a simple fake shot up. Nothing too elaborate. Take a touch up, and then I do a fake shot. So as you can see, I'm not doing a fake shot anyway. I'm just doing a fake shot into the space. So this is another variation of where you can use it. I'm not saying you have to every single time do a fake shot at the correct spot. So for example, like here, take a touch upwards. And you see, instead of kind of doing a fake shot the other way, I did a fake shot upwards. You see that? So the first thing, I took a touch, took it upwards, then did a fake shot into the space. Then I saw, for example, here, I thought the angle was too, I suppose you can say too obtuse, probably the correct terminology. Too obtuse. There I made the angle a bit more acute, but I still think I'm a bit head on. So I decided to take an extra touch downwards to guarantee the angle, guarantee the goal. Take a touch downwards and take a shot into the back of the net. But again, all stemmed from a simple pass here with Lucas, got the ball, saw Neymar, so the player was running downwards, took a touch upwards, did a fake shot. So as soon as I got the ball, as you can see, took a touch upwards, then as soon as I touched the ball, as you see my players already took an. So basically, to kind of give you an example, I went up straight away. As you can see, look, as you can see up, so just before I touched the ball, as you can see, look at my left analog stick. See, I'm aiming up. So I touch the ball, then I'm already making the movement up, then I do the fake shot, and then I go into the space. And that's a very simple way of beating my opponent. So we have another example we have straight away. This is an example where I won the ball back, as you can see, and I won the ball back at such a close situation. And the first thing I'm thinking of in my head, okay, what can I do? Now I have two options again. I can do a fake shot either up, or I can do a fake shot either down. Either way is fine. I saw there was a player nearby, but for some reason I decided to do a fake shot upwards anyway. Ended up working in the end, and I went past my goalkeeper. You see that? Just a very simple fake shot. As you can see, jogging fake shot, exited upwards, very simply. You see that? And even though Neymar's got the 4-star skill moves that I was saying earlier, remember I was saying there's that animation. As you can see in this situation, he doesn't do the animation. Normally the game decides when to do the animation for you. Sometimes that's kind of the way it works. As you can see, it kind of depends on positioning as well of the body. As you can see, do a simple fake shot upwards. And at this point, the reason why I did a fake shot upwards is I got the ball here. And the reason why I just thought that, I thought that this player was going to I thought he was going to change from this player to this player and do a slide tackle across goal. So my idea was I kind of wanted to counter that and go kind of opposite direction of where he's running. So the most important thing is I always look at where the player is running and then make a decision to go upwards. And that way I kind of beat two players with the simple fake shot. So here we have another example against my opponent. Now this is against a good opponent. We haven't really got that many options this game. Make the pass. We're using I think we're using a 5-3-2 as well. I think we're using in this situation. Remember, we get the ball with Neymar. As you can see, he's moving quite close to me, and I get the ball with Ben Yedder. Now, as you can see, in this situation, I saw that there wasn't really that much of an option, but the first thing I'm thinking of is either go up or down. Now, the most obvious thing will be to go down into this space. So I'm thinking, let me try to outsmart my opponent and let him overcommit. Now, that's kind of what's running through my head, but you're going to see something. Watch what happens. So I get the ball, just focus on my controller. Just to show you what I did is I took a fake shot as soon as I got the ball. So like the Neymar example, right? I took a touch first. So my plan was I wanted to go up into the space up there, took a touch like that, up into there, took a touch. As soon as I took a touch, I executed the fake shot, and I wanted to exit this way. The reason why is I thought that he was going to commit towards me. So the idea was take a touch, as you can see over here, take a touch, let him commit towards me, as you can see like so, do a fake shot upwards, and as you can see, he basically almost fell for it. Now you see, it's the animation which kind of pushed me in front. You see that? The most important thing is the animation. I took a touch upwards. Because of the animation the way it is, at this point he doesn't know where I'm going. And I just do the fake shot facing upwards. You see that? And that's enough to give me that angle to take a shot towards goal. You see that? That's just enough. See? And that's trying to say the fake shot is probably the most, I'll be honest, inside the box, I only use this skill move. It's probably the most universal skill move, the most easiest to learn, and that's why I want to show you this skill move, because anyone could do this. You can do it with any player. You don't need to have 3-star skill moves or 4-star or 5-star. Any player can do a fake shot. Every player on the pitch can do it. But more importantly, you have the complete 360 total control of the whole area around you. The exit, you can exit in any direction, any form. And also the fact how easy it is. You know, you're not doing some elaborate combination. This is a simple fake shot. And that's, again, what resulted for me to score a goal. Now this is a kind of a more elaborate example where I tie a lot of things in together. So as you can see, I've got the ball down the wing with Mahrez over here. And another reason where I used a fake shot here is it's normal play, as you can see. Now the reason why I did the fake shot here was there's two reasons. I don't know if you can notice why I did it. There was kind of two things. Now, just to give you a bit of insight what happened previous clip, all I did is I pressed the L1, LB button, as I explained to you in the last video, to trigger this player to make a run going forward. Now what it was is I was focusing on this defender, seeing where he was in relative to my player, and I was seeing, can I make the pass? And the reason why I did a fake shot here, now you might think this is nonsense, but the reason why is I wanted to drift my opponent's eyes away from this player, and I wanted my opponent to look at Mahrez. Now, this is kind of deception, and it's kind of psychological, and it probably works, and you probably don't think about this, but this happens subconsciously. What happens is that when you do a fake shot, or any skill move in particular, your player will start looking at the person who's got the balls. Here, for example, I do a fake shot. Now, because he was marking the run over here, as soon as I did a fake shot, you see how his eyes kind of just drift away for a second, and that stops him from marking the run. You see that? He's marking the run all the way, Then as soon as I do the fake shot, his eyes drift away. And that split second was a lack of concentration that then basically made him go behind. You see that? And that, I guarantee you, this pass would never have been made if I never did that fake shot. The reason why is when I did a fake shot, as you can see, he's looking up, and then his eyes swift towards, okay, Mahrez did a fake shot. Which way is he going to go? You see that? So it's kind of like a deception tactic. His eyes drifted away. Okay, Mahrez didn't do anything. And while I was looking at Mahrez, he was misaiming the run to mark the run. As you can see, he tried to mark the run, did a fake shot. His eyes drifted away. Wasn't concentrating, paying attention. Then he was caught behind me. You see that? He didn't turn in time. As you can see, he's tracking me perfectly. Then as you can see, the run, I'm turning inside. He doesn't react until too late. And then I go down, give the ball down the wing. Now, as you can see, I have the ball down the wing. Very simple. Let's watch what I do here. I do a simple ball roll, do a simple pass. Now again, I see this player running at me. What's the first thing I'm thinking of? There's two ways of going, either up or either going down. As you can see, this player is running towards me. So I want to do a fake shot immediately. As you can see, he's running towards me. So I know either way direction that I go to, I'm still going to get past him because he's running towards me. Don't forget, he has to run towards me, then stop, and then jockey into direction. So the first thing I'm thinking of, okay, you know what? Either up or down. The reason why I don't go down, obviously, because there's no defender over here. So I decided in this case to go upwards. As you can see, simple. Do a fake shot, as you can see, and it's a very simple, well, it's almost a miss, should I say. But it's always almost a very simple fake shot just to get past them, glide past them. Unfortunately, the finish doesn't really occur in the end, as you can see. The angle, I suppose you can say, wasn't really good enough. I wasn't close enough towards goal. But again, mainly just focusing on the fake shot. It's the fake shot that allowed me to beat the player and get past him to easily almost score the goal. I just wanted to finish off by saying, if you want to practice these, what I'd recommend is you go to skill games, you go to shooting. Once you go to shooting, I would say go to advanced scenarios and try the bronze method. It's actually a really good way to test your fake shots. What you can do is, just as an initial period, whenever opponents running towards, just start practicing the fake shots just to see how it is. You're not always going to beat your goalkeeper like that, for example. It's going to take some time for you to kind of learn the angles, when's the correct time to use a fake shot, etc., etc. And don't forget, this is all against AI. AI, obviously, they defend much, much better than a human. But just, just have a bit of practice just to kind of get kind of like the motion in check, the fake shot motion, and that should be fine. Just and the benefit is only one defender, so it's fairly easy. So just have a practice here, have a go. As I said, just try different options. So when you see a defender, just, test some things out, maybe do the running fake shot, maybe even could potentially try the fake shot stop. But as I said, you mainly want to concentrate mainly on just the left stick dribbling and fake shot. So simple, walk up to your opponent, choose a direction, and then go. It's probably the most effective method and probably the most easy method, as I said. But once you get used to it, once you get the hang to it, it should be relatively easy. If you do any other questions, do let me know. We're going to go into some more elaborate fake shots, for example, fake shot stop later on. We're also going to go into some other examples. For example, you get the ball and you do like a fake shot touch first like that. And we're going to go into some more examples where, examples you're down the wing, for example, when your opponent's catching up to you, you do a fake shot stop and you cut back inside. So this will all be in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Take it easy.